Hey everybody, today's July 24th, 2023, and today we're gonna talk about the stock market. Right now, we're in the middle of earnings seasons, and the market is looking real good. We talked about how we had a breakout earlier this year from from range of 4,200 and 3,800. And usually, when we have a breakout after a long time of consolidation, we tend to have a strong move upwards, right? As long as we don't come down and retest for too long. So the question is, are we going to continue this uptrend, or are we finally going to have a pullback, right? The Federal Reserve decision is on Wednesday, and that might affect the market in the short term. So before we begin, please read the disclaimer. You can pause this video as you read it. Okay, so last time we left off, we talked about how there was a pullback, and but I talked about how if we have a breakout, we had a year-long consolidation, right, around 4,200 and 3,800, support and resistance, or sorry, resistance and support. So when we finally broke out and we had a pullback, after a very strong breakout, and I talked about how this pullback, we generally want it to be shallow, and that's what we got, right? If it comes down to retest the prior resistance level, that might, be usually it's a bad sign. Usually we want to kind of force the buyers to keep pushing up, right? Instead of letting the sellers take control, right? You want the buyers being in control. So the fact that we were able to not only stop this pullback from becoming bigger, but also to come down, retest the resistance and break through it. Now we're starting to see a nice breakout and a gap up, right? But later this week on Wednesday, there is a Federal Reserve decision, right? On Wednesday, they're expected to raise rates by 25 basis points. We paused last time, right? And everybody was celebrating, but then Jerome Powell, the Federal chair, he in a conference he said that he believed that there was still more room to raise rates. And so in our last video we talked about how it was possible they could raise another 25 basis points and maybe another one, right? Bring our terminal rate up to 5.5%. So that is what is expected on Wednesday. So it looks like the market is trying to price in that right now by going sideways for a couple of days. But if it turns out that the Fed, because our inflation report last time, as we see on my Twitter, or as now known as X by Elon Musk, right? But let's just say Twitter, just so we don't confuse people. And by the way, please follow me on Twitter or X, Eddie Lux _. And yeah, so where we left off last time was that inflation came in cooler than expected, so the market really ripped on that, right, as we expected. But now, the question is, will the Fed pause? Because the Fed generally will raise rates if they believe that inflation is higher than expected. So the fact that we got cooler than expected inflation, will the Fed finally pause, or are they going to raise rates as people expected, as they hinted in their last Fed meeting, when they did pause, but they hinted that they may continue to raise rates based on what the inflation report comes out, as it continues to come out, right? But as we've seen in the last inflation report, that we're starting to see a trend continue to go down. So there is a small chance that the Fed might actually pause tomorrow. So if that happens, I'm expecting a big rally to the upside, right? This continuation of this fantastic rally that we've had. But if the Fed does manage to raise rates by the expected 25 basis points, I think we might see like a muted market, because that's already being priced in right now, right? That's what the market expects. But if the Fed raise rates more than expected, which I don't expect is going to happen, then of course I think we might see the market come down. And if it does come down, there's definitely the previous resistance level right here, around 40, I guess SPY 444, or S&P, yeah, around 4450 for the S&P 500. So that's what I'm expecting in the short term technicals, right? But if you look at the longer term, like the technicals still look good. We have higher lows and higher highs. We have a defined uptrend after breaking out of this consolidation. So in 2022, as Fed they rose rates, we saw the market come down, and then we consolidated, right, as the market tried to find a bottom. And now we're breaking out of this consolidation range, right? We've been breaking out of it since late May of this year, and we've been in a pretty solid uptrend. So I think that even if the Fed might shock the market tomorrow, which I don't think it will, because I think a lot of things are being priced in right now, I do think that overall, yeah, things are looking good, right? I'm still bullish on the market, and yeah, as long as we keep this uptrend and we don't have anything pull back, as long as we defend this level, right? I mean, we might pull back and defend 444 for SPY, but as long as we don't come down and retest this level, and of course, we don't want to see us break back into this old range, right? Because then that would be bad. So let's look at some other things that could help us out. fear and greed index, extreme greed, right? It's not generally a good thing because it does suggest that perhaps we're reaching some resistance level right here. But like I said, things, even though the market is in greed, doesn't mean it can't continue going higher, right? And yeah, so there's really not much else to say. The market is still looking good. It's still bullish bias. But again, the Fed could raise rates again, and that's what the market is expecting on Wednesday. And if they do that, I do think the market might pull back a little bit, but stabilize around this area. If they raise rates more than expected, we can see it come down, fill this gap, but we do want to see this level be defended, right? SPY 444 around that level, and of course 4450 on the SPX, right? If we come down even more and take out this support level, then that could be bad news, right? And we definitely don't want to see the S&P 500 break back into this old range because that would be bad. So that's it for now. I'll update you on Thursday with a chart on Twitter or x.com, and yeah, we will see how what the Fed does. Are they going to raise by 25 basis points as everyone expected, or are they going to raise by more? Or if they don't raise at all, they pause. Because our last inflation report was really good, right? Inflation is still continuing to cool, so that could cause the market to rip tomorrow. But we'll definitely update you on Thursday with the chart, and of course next week with the video. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, useful, or informative, please like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe for updates. Appreciate all your support. Thank you again, and have a great day.